Welcome, Paul. Theron. Great to have you in studio. So Dexia is rallying over 10% today. We had
Are the Dexia shares price up?
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
Much higher. We had Nicolas Sarkozy and Angela Merkel over the weekend making a decision with regards to recapitalizing banks, and I suspect that it was prompted by what was happening at Dexia, because we actually needed to see a vote of confidence back into the overall banking sector. Is that the right assumption to
For
make?
the uninitiated, Dexia is obviously a French-Belgian bank. They put together a whole lot of things. It's got retail. It's quite active in the mortgage market. Holds lots of Greek and other Southern European debts as part of its asset base, in other words, bonds, sovereign bonds. But I mean, they did get bailed out. So why I'm surprised the share price, in fact, was up is because getting bailed out doesn't mean the shareholders of those companies are going to see a good deal. If anything, common equity could be wiped out. But the important thing is depositors' interests are concerned as well as bondholders. So as far as the market's concerned, there was anxiety that someone was going to take a major loss in Europe because of bad debts and write-offs. Now this is another case of government stepping in, socializing the losses. Although understand that this doesn't make people feel very much more positive about banks, because it's another case of where they make big profits in good times but push their debts onto the public purse when going gets tough. But be that as it may, the American markets are rallying because they're kind of feeling, well, the Europeans are finally getting their you-know-what together.
What about the Swiss? Nobel.
The Swiss. Yes. Oh, no, the Swiss. No, the Swedes is what you're looking for. The Nobel Prize for Economics, although everybody points out this is not the same as the other Nobels. This is like a later edition. But the funny thing here, it's two Americans that got the prize for their work done in the 70s and the 80s. Why do they keep giving people prizes for what they did in the 1970s and the 1980s? I think they should give somebody a prize for Nobel Economics for something they did last week, if it was useful. Be that as it may, apparently this is for the expectations theory. Apparently these guys invented what happens with regard to cause and effect, which I thought Newton invented in the 1500s, but there you go, they got a prize for it.
For cause and effect.
Yeah.
Right. 1492, Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, the relevance of that.
It's on his notes, I have nothing to do with it.
This is Columbus Day in America, so market's actually a little bit thin. Some people take a 3-day weekend. But the joke that I saw Sarah Wilde on Twitter saying was that today is the day where you celebrate arriving in somebody's home and saying to them, this is mine now, which is what Columbus did in 1492. So, we don't do things like that anymore. Pity.
I'm quite bleak because BBM is down today.
Yes, so for Blackberry lovers.
Everyone, I mean, it's literally the whole of South Africa.
Yes, because everybody that's everybody uses Blackberry Messenger to send free SMSs to each other. Little messages, that's all down. And it's not just Africa, it's the whole of the Middle East and so on. Crazy, who knew that could happen? So that's not so hot. It's been down since lunchtime, so now you're going to have to resort to actually making a phone call because that part of the thing still works.
Is WhatsApp still working?
I think it is, because that's an entirely different thing, so that's what you ought to be using. Upgrade to WhatsApp.